It was not a good day for the Menendez brothers or their family that has been advocating for their release from prison. Hello, my friend, Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and most of us know the story by now of Eric and Lyle Menendez. Last year, they had a major resurgence with a Netflix documentary and a Ryan Murphy scripted show based on their lives. While that was all going on, their lawyers have also been trying to get them out from behind bars. And a few months ago, the Los Angeles County District Attorney held a press conference saying that he was in favor of their resentencing and release. Unfortunately for them, that DA lost his re-election and a new DA was put into power. And today, Nathan Hochman, the new LA County DA, held a press conference after he fully got caught up to speed on everything Menendez brothers. He reviewed trial transcripts, prison records, testimony, and spoke with members of the family and other legal professionals. And the DA has said that he does not support resentencing or release. But despite what he thinks, a resentencing hearing is scheduled for later this month. The LA County DA says that his office is prepared to go forward with the hearing set for March 20th and the 21st. And he explains, quote, "Our position is that they shouldn't get out of jail. We bring that position to the court. The court can agree with it. The court can disagree with it or modify it in some respect." What made Hochman get to this place of no release? They claim self-defense in the murder of their father and mother, but the DA says that that is a bunch of lies. He explains, in looking at whether the Menendez brothers have exhibited full insight and complete responsibility for their crimes, they have not. They don't meet the standards for resentencing. Pero por qué? He adds that because they persist in telling these lies, self-defense, for the last over 30 years about their self-defense and persist in insisting that they did not suborn any perjury or attempt to suborn perjury, they do not meet the standards for resentencing or standards for rehabilitation. And this guy really ripped into them. He says, quote, "If the Menendez brothers at some point unequivocally, sincerely, and fully accept complete responsibility for all their criminal actions, acknowledge that the self-defense was phony, and that their parents weren't going to kill them, and finally come clean with the court, with the public, with the DA's office, with their own family members, and acknowledge all these lies, in the future, the court can weigh these new insights into making a determination as to whether they now qualify for rehabilitation and resentencing. And the DA's office will do the same." The DA also pointed out that a key factor of the case and his decision was the premeditation of the murders. For example, the brothers drove to San Diego to buy guns days before the killings, shot their parents in the kneecaps to make it look gang-related, and planned an alibi by buying movie tickets afterwards, among other things. They, quote, "also had the presence of mind to pick up all the shotgun shells, to hide their fingerprints, as well as get rid of their dirty clothes and guns." Their trials, more than one, was before my time, but I can't argue with what the DA says. He makes some good points there, right? Furthermore, the DA argues that out of the 20 lies they told throughout the case, they have only admitted to 4, suggesting the abuse claims may be a lie as well. The DA pointed out that Eric confessed to the murders to his therapist, but he never mentions self-defense in the recording. Hochman said, "They convinced not just the media, not just the police, but their family and their friends that they were 100% innocent of these crimes until eventually these tapes came out." The next iteration of the story came when Lyle allegedly asked his girlfriend to say Jose, their dad, drugged and raped her before the brothers eventually shared their own abuse claims. That sounds very scheming to me. Eventually, they revealed in court that they were the victims of abuse and that they thought their parents were going to kill them. The DA hit back at this, saying the self-defense defense was a fabrication. Adding more on these bombshell therapy tapes, quote, "What Eric said is that his father was a controlling, dominating force, and that is the reason. He said the mother would be a witness to the crime, so she had to die. And she was so miserable because the father had an affair, and the mother could not live without the father. The brothers have never come clean and admitted that they lied about their self-defense, as well as suborned perjury, and attempted to suborn perjury by their friends for their lies, among others, of their father violently raping Lyle's girlfriend, their mother poisoning the family, and their attempt to get a handgun the day before the murders." Well, the brothers have social media, even though they're locked up in San Diego. In response to the DA's press conference, Lyle took to his FB to insist that of all those lies Hochman talked about, several of them were admitted, stipulated to in the first trial, and several other lies were absolutely disproven or reasonably disputed. Family members of Eric and Lyle also blasted the DA for ignoring, quote, "the fact they were repeatedly abused, feared for their lives, and have atoned for their actions." In a statement, the Menendez brothers' family, as a family, says, quote, "Eric and Lyle are not the same young boys they were more than 30 years ago. They have apologized for their actions, which were the results of Jose's sexual abuse and Kitty's enablement. They have apologized for the horrific actions they took. They have apologized to us, and they have demonstrated their atonement through actions that have helped improve countless lives." Referring to the brothers helping victims of trauma behind bars, setting up a green space, and doing more while incarcerated to pay it forward, as they say. Yet, the statement continues, DA Hochman is effectively asking for them to publicly apologize to a checklist of actions they took in a state of shock and fear. They slammed the DA for his not-so-veiled insistence that the two weren't sexually abused, and for sending, quote, "a message to every young boy who's the victim of abuse that they should not come forward." Well, now it's in the hands of a judge who later this month could decide differently from the DA and could say, "Get out. You've done your time." But even if the judge rules against resentencing, California Governor Gavin Newsom is also assessing the brothers and their request separately for clemency from him. So the DA said the judge, TBD, but could be also, and even if that happens, Gavin Newsom could still set them free. Do you think he should? And what do you think about the DA's statements today? Let's discuss it all in the comments section.